Coming up on DITV, we give you an update on the Larry Nasser trial, as yesterday was its 7th day in court.
And later, 2 local groups hosted an event to recycle an unexpected household item.
We have updates from women's basketball and wrestling as they prepare for busy weekends. Also, we have some news on Hawkeyes receiving conference and national recognition.
You can see many days with sunshine this week. What about temperatures? Find out more in weather.
All that and more coming up on this Thursday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere, DITV starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Kaylin Cluck.
And I'm Sydney Zatz. Well, Kaylin, the decision for the Larry Nasser case was revealed yesterday.
That's right, Sydney, and there's an update on Michigan State's president following the aftermath. We have DITV News reporter Christopher Cervantes standing by to tell us more about yesterday's big news.
Yeah, Sydney, Kaylin, big legal news here. Former USA Gymnastics team physician Larry Nasser has been sentenced to prison for up to 175 years. This comes after more than 150 women and girls said in court that Nasser sexually abused them. He is known for his work at Michigan State University along with the U.S. Olympic gymnastics team. Nasser admitted to using his trusted medical position to assault and molest his patients. Among the women who have accused Nasser of sexual abuse are Gabby Douglas, Simone Biles, Allie Raisman, and Michaela Maroney. Separately, Nasser is facing 60 years in prison on federal charges of child pornography. Amidst calls for change within USA Gymnastics, the board of directors resigned. Shortly after Nasser's sentencing, it was announced that Michigan State President Lou Anne Simon had also resigned effective immediately. That's the latest news on the case. Sydney, Kaylin, back to you guys at the news desk.
Thanks, Chris. Authorities have released the autopsy of a former Iowa student who died earlier this month. The results show that Paul Bigas died of, quote, hypothermia due to environmental cold exposure, end quote. Additionally, the release states Bigas was, quote, acutely intoxicated at the time of death, and there's no reason to believe foul play was involved, end quote. Bigas was found dead in early January lying in the snow outside the Robert A. Lee Community Center. According to the National Weather Service, Iowa City was 5 degrees with a minus 10-degree wind chill when Bigas was found. He was only 24 at the time of his death.
A Davenport man has been arrested in connection to white supremacy flyers in Iowa City. James Lee Mathias was caught putting those same flyers on cars in a high school parking lot this week. Earlier this month, residents of the Weatherby Park neighborhood in Iowa City had flyers from the National Alliance on their front lawns. The National Alliance is a white supremacist group founded in 1970 in West Virginia. Mathias has been a member of the National Alliance since 2000.
Iowa City wants to know what its residents are willing to do about climate change. A 17-question survey will be posted online through February. The city will use the results of this survey to create the Climate Action and Adaptation Plan. The plan will have a few main focal points, such as transportation options, energy efficiency, and lifestyle choices. It'll be discussed at the next community input meeting on April 26th.
You may have noticed that everyone seems to be talking about the flu this season. Reporter Susanna Kloster tells us more about the virus that's going around.
As students have arrived back on campus for spring semester, one of the main concerns registered nurse Lisa James from Student Health and Wellness has is that students are not receiving their flu shots this flu season. I was able to see what flu shot is the best.
More powerful than that. And there's a strain of flu this year that seems to be making people a little more severely ill than in past years. The flu shot's not protecting quite as well against this particular strain of flu that's making people very sick.
Iowa is currently in the peak of flu season, and the flu is widespread in every state except Hawaii.
Well, it's this pretty sudden onset of a bad headache, chills, fever, body aches. I mean, you feel like a truck ran into you.
Since October 2017, there have been 14 deaths due to the flu.
Lots of students coming in to get their flu shot, which makes us very happy because there's plenty of flu shots available and it's not too late to get it.
Like Lisa said, it's not too late to get your flu shot, and you can do so at the main Student Health and Wellness Clinic in the West Lawn Building or in the Clinical Outreach location in the IMU on the ground floor in room 103. Reporting for DITV News, I'm Susanna Closter.
Quadrivalent, because that means
Sydney, I heard it's about to get warmer, and I, for one, am so ready for that.
Me too, but in Iowa winters, you never know what to expect. I mean, the other day it was about 60 degrees, and I was almost ready to break out my flip-flops, but let's see what kind of weather we can be expecting. We'll toss over to Jin-Yuk Kim in the weather studio to tell us more. Jin-Yuk?
Thanks, guys. Today is pretty sunny day and we can feel warmer temperatures than past few days too. We'll continue to see sunny and clear skies today. Temperatures will reach mid-40s and later it will fall to high 30s at night. Moving on to our extended forecast, Friday will be the warmest day but most windy day too. Temperatures will range from high 20s to low 50s. Weekend will welcome us with sunshine. On Saturday, temperatures will reach high 40s and later drop down to mid-20s with 10% of precipitation. Skies will still be sunny on Sunday, but temps will decrease. We are seeing high of low 30s and low of around 17 degrees on Sunday. We will continue to experience Sunday climate on Monday too, and gladly, temps will start to rise again with mostly cloudy skies from Tuesday, reaching low 40s at noon and high 30s at night. If you hate cold weather, you should enjoy weather this week because we're expecting extreme fall of temps in early February. That's your weather for the week. Sydney and Kaylin, back to you.
Thanks, Jin-Yuk. There's a new form of art that's making waves in Iowa City. DITV News reporter Gustavo Meyer has the story.
Wine corks are surprisingly versatile. Upcycling gives old wine corks a new purpose. I spoke with Jane Wilch as she was leading her class.
Where we actually slice them into what looks like little wine cork buttons and we place them on cork sheeting. So that's one way, and you just have a variety of buttons on there and it makes a coaster.
The increasingly popular trend has led to various designs of wine coasters. The process starts with tracing cork sheeting with a ruler into either a square or circular shape. A glue gun is then used to glue the cut wine corks on to the sheeting. Careful organizing of the wine buns is needed. Afterwards, press hard on the cork sheeting. Any design can be used to create a unique wine coaster. Finally, wait half an hour for the glue to dry. The City of Iowa City and AmeriCorps is teaming up to host classes in the East Recycling Center for free.
AmeriCorps, we are partnered with the city. We are hosted in the Parks and Recs department, and we partner with the city on many events such as this. We are part of the upcycling fair.
I myself was in need of a new wine coaster and with the help of Jane, participated in the upcycling. And just like that, I have a new wine coaster. This is Gustavo Meyer, DITV News.
Well, Sydney, we've got a busy weekend ahead for Hawkeye sports.
That's right, Kaylin. Let's toss over to Will in the sports studio to tell us more. Will?
Yeah, we have just a ton of sports going on this weekend. We have women's basketball, men's wrestling, track and field's back again. It seemed like last weekend just about everything was at home, but this weekend we have just a few teams. Despite the Iowa women's basketball team losing to Minnesota 77-72 last Sunday, the team had a positive mentality going into tonight's game against the number 12 ranked team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
We're on a little bit of a skid here, so we're even hungrier than we usually are for a win. And it's a great opportunity to have such a highly ranked team coming into our home court, and hopefully we can make some noise.
We have to put a performance together like we did against Florida State. I mean, we're going to have to play a really good game because this is a really good team coming in here. There's no room for error with this team, but it would be a huge motivator for our team to come out and get a good W. And obviously, you know, they're excited to play.
We've had a lot of road games recently, and it's going to be awesome to have the fan base there supporting us. And we just hope to have a lot of fans out there, and we're really excited to play back at home.
And we're in all of these games that we're playing. We just got to close them out a little better than we have been. So we're just going to keep our heads up, keep working as hard as we can, and just keep trying to get better every single day. That's really all you can do.
Hopefully the number 25 ranked Hawks can come out with a win tonight in Carver. It's at 7 p.m. The first 2,000 fans will receive a bobblehead of head coach Lisa Bluter, so be sure to get to Carver early tonight. One Hawkeye wrestler is receiving some national attention after upsetting the number 1 ranked 125-pound wrestler in the country, Nathan Tomasello, in the Hawks' loss at Ohio State this weekend. Freshman Spencer Lee was named Big Ten Wrestler of the Week, as well as the NCAA Wrestler of the Week. The NCAA honors decided via fans on Twitter. Spencer Lee is 9-1 this season, which includes 3 wins over top 10 opponents. Coming off a tough loss, however, to Ohio State last Sunday, the Iowa wrestling team is looking to rebound against the Michigan Wolverines. Sunday's lone bright spot was 125-pounder Spencer Lee upsetting #1 ranked Nathan Tomasello. And as we mentioned, Lee jumped all the way to #3 in the rankings this week following the win. Brandon Sorensen, Michael Kemmer, and Alex Marinelli also strolled out of Columbus with wins on Sunday, but as head coach Tom Brands reminds us, a true competitor is never satisfied.
I mean, I look at the best guys that we have in our room, the best guys that have been through the program. I look at Dan Gable and what he stood for, and never satisfied comes to mind. So guys like, Kemmer and Sorensen and Marinelli and Spencer Lee and really all of the guys in our lineup, it's hard to be satisfied when you walk off the mat.
And there's always things to improve, whether win or loss. So, sometimes you win. You learn more from losses, or you learn more from wins. It doesn't really. Everyone says it's either winning or learning, right? But obviously, it's nice to not lose. I'm a competitor. No one goes on that mat saying, "Man, I really hope I lose today."
Iowa will host Michigan this Saturday night at Carver Hawkeye Arena at 5 o'clock. 16 wrestlers in the top 20 of their respective weight classes will be there, so it should make for a good, exciting match. Big Ten Conference announced Wednesday that junior track athlete Brianna Guillory was named the Big Ten Track Athlete of the Week. This honor comes after Guillory recorded the fastest 400-meter time in the country this past weekend. Guillory finished second in the event behind former Olympian Georgianne Moline. Guillory also helped the 4x400-meter relay to a first-place finish where they recorded the 10th best time in the country. Speaking of the track team, this past weekend at the Larry Wichorek Invitational, Guillory wasn't the only athlete to have an impressive performance. DITV sports reporter Casey Lindenkrantz has the story.
Of the 41 events held Saturday, the 3,000-meter run was the longest event for a single competitor. On the women's side, Andrea Shine set a personal best when she posted a time of 9:39.02. In the endurance events, where preparation is key, Shine discussed how her cross-country experience aids in her performance on the track.
I think the training that we do during cross-country really helps for track because we focus a lot on intervals, even if they're over grass or on the golf course. So then when we come in here and mimic that style on the track, I feel prepared and I'm not too out of my element.
It isn't to say things carry over from cross-country to track entirely, though.
Especially with this baked track, it feels a little different. Like taking the turns, you really have to have more precision, I feel, in track than in cross. But I'd say the footing isn't as much of a difference, it's just the tactics in the race.
Even though Shine did post a personal best, she didn't finish first, so there is room for improvement.
I'm really happy with new PR and everything, but I think at some points in the race I might have gotten a little complacent, so I just want to remember to stay strong throughout the entire race, especially when it gets lengthy with the number of laps.
Shine plans to evolve as a runner as she looks to the rest of the season. Reporting from the University of Iowa Recreation Building, this is Casey Lindenkrantz, DITV Sports.
Shine and the rest of the track team will be back in action this weekend for the Black and Gold premiere. Be sure to tune back in Monday for results, highlights, and more from the event. Tune in tomorrow as our very own Mary-Kate Herron and Zach Mackey will break down Iowa basketball's road game at Nebraska. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Will. Sir Elton John has announced his farewell tour yesterday with upcoming performances in over 300 cities worldwide.
That's right, and his tour will last until 2021, and Iowans may not have to travel far to hear him one last time.
It is rumored he'll perform in Des Moines, and locals are already excited about that possibility. Additional Midwest cities already confirmed include Chicago, Omaha, Minneapolis, and I'm sure hoping to go see Sir Elton. I know he's a great musician.
That's very true. And that is all we have for you on this Thursday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday.
If that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out the print edition on stands now.
For DITV, I'm Sydney Zatz.
And I'm Kaylin Cluck. Have a good day, Iowa City, and see you tomorrow morning.